Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Paranormal Club. This is our horror movie reviews where there is no measure when it comes to entertainment and terror. We hope you guys are ready because we are about to go on a ghost hunt. Well, a ghost doll hunt, to be clear. And coming with us is Morty. Sadly, he's here to replace the Warrens and the Pierins. Sadly, we get to meet Mia and John. Not so good at their job.
Oh, jeez, Rick!
And neither is Father Perez. And tell you right now, guys, I do not like Annabelle. This was my first viewing of it, and the first viewing is supposed to be special. It was nothing for me. So, I'm sorry, Morty. I mean, Annabelle 2, but goodbye. And Cameron will be giving you the synopsis.
Alright, so yes, Annabelle is a 2014, it was filmed released in 2014. It is a spin-off of the Conjuring film. It follows Mia and John. Mia is pregnant. I forgot to mention, this is 1967 Santa Monica. And Mia and John, a young couple, Mia's pregnant. They live next to a nice family, the Higgins family. And one night, the Higgins family is preyed upon by their estranged cultist daughter and her boyfriend. They are murdered. And then the carnage ensues upon Mia and John. Luckily, they survive. However, psychologically damaged. But through these events, paranormal occurrences occur, and not as exciting or entertaining as the Conjuring film, but paranormal activity does occur.
It was directed by John R. Linetti, produced by Peter Safran and James Wan, written by Gary Doberman. Music is done by Joseph Bishara, who was a great man in this series, who also plays the demon in this movie. I'm actually very sorry for him that he had to play such a crappy demon. Cinematography was done by James Niest. The locations are 228 North Gramercy Place, Los Angeles, California, which is the foreman's first house, right next to the Gibbons. 4350 Wilshire Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, also known as the Wilshire United Methodist Church, which is Father Perez's church. Never really get the name of that. 715 South Normandy Avenue, Los Angeles, California, which is the apartment, which again, you never find out the name of the apartment. Like, you usually know a development has a name. Annabelle Wallace comes in as Mia Form, Ward Horton as John Form, Alfred Woodard is Evelyn, our residential bookworm, bookstore owner, and suicide dummy in the end. No offense, she is not a dummy, but replacement, more like it. We have Tony Amendola as Father Perez, Carrie O'Malley as Sharon Higgins, Brian Howie as Peter Higgins, Eric Ladden as Detective Clarkin, who we sadly barely see any of in this movie compared to the cop in The Conjuring, and he's really just there for information. Ivor Broger as Dr. Berger. Which, again, we barely see him. He's really just there for the pregnancy, and that's it, sadly.
His name is Dr. Berger, like hamburger?
There is an H in there, but yeah, basically.
Wow. Take a bite into that.
Oh, God. We have Gabriel Bateman, amazingly, is in this film. I mean, with a name like that, you should be in a Psycho film. But he plays Robert. Shyla Nelson plays Nancy. Tree O'Toole is Annabelle Higgins, the crazy cultist daughter. We have Kira Daniels as Annabelle, age 7, as we see in those ghost visions. But onto the scariest scene. Me personally, nothing.
It's got the gore score.
Oh, right, the gore score.
Yeah, already. There is a gore score for this surprisingly dull film. From the top, we have 2 cult stabbings, 1 suicide by cop, 1 self-throat slit, 1 hospitalized priest, 1 self-sacrifice, and 1 demon.
They're pretty okay compared to The Conjuring, but we all know, no offense to those that like this movie, but it was terrible. On to the scariest scene. I have to say, it's non-existent. This movie scared me. It didn't actually scare me in the least. It was terrible. Terrible, ladies and gentlemen. Compared to The Conjuring, you had nothing except for a few jump scares. I even talked about it in my literature ethics class, and they all agreed. No one likes this movie. I mean, come on. Actually use ideas from The Conjuring instead of turning this into a glorified, dramatic family movie with a few supernatural uses. I mean, that's it. Come on.
It just felt like a whole bunch of B-roll footage of Insidious and The Conjuring. So that means all the footage that gets cut out of those much superior films, we're left with a film that just feels very bland, and it's the type of film that even if you saw it in the $5 bin at Walmart, you would hesitate. You might end up buying it, but you would hesitate. You're like, is it really worth the $5?
Not even fucking close. Do not waste your money on this movie.
I will mention in terms of scariest scene, it's not really scary, but there is a intense moment, and that is towards the beginning when you see the cultist through Mia and John's bedroom window. You see the blood splattering on the wall. It's a nice little touch, but it's not enough, obviously.
Exactly, especially that basement scene. I mean, yeah, I was hoping they were setting up for something more, and then all you see is this demon just show up out of nowhere, and are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. It did feel like a cruel joke, didn't it? You know, because this was 1 year after The Conjuring, so, you know, this film did well because of the hype of the original Conjuring film. It made $257 million out of a budget of $6.5 million, and I'm surprised that it even cost $6.5 million for the budget because, you know, there are some nice costume designs and stuff, but I don't know. I have no idea what they spent $6.5 million on. Do you? Do you know? I mean, because
no clue. No clue. And I just want to thank, if any of you guys saw that thing on the right of me or left of me, that was my brother basically proving my point that just by crawling around on the ground, it's not scary. That demon was not scary. It's basically this white boy over here.
Quiet, Brandon.
See? There's his voice. Just by crawling into the screen, it's not scary.
I just want the audience to know that your brother is a ghost.
I wish. He'd make a very scary ghost during Halloween. Sadly, he does the worst Halloween house in the neighborhood.
Not true.
Very true.
No, it's not. You just don't have the balls to do it yourself.
I would, but budget was $6.5 million. Box office, sadly, was $257 million. I mean, come on, guys. You're giving them money for one of the worst films. I know you thought it was going to be good, but just look at it. Ugly stepsister of Conjuring.
Yes. The ugly step. No, let's go step cousin of The Conjuring.
It had a 29% Rotten Tomatoes score, which I completely agree with. Thank you, critics who actually understand how terrible this movie was. I mean, you see less is more in The Conjuring, but this was too little compared to that. It didn't even try. It didn't even try anything.
Yeah, that's why when we get to Annabelle Creation, I feel like we'll have a lot more meat to chew. You know, there's a lot more to consume in that film. You know, a lot of folks. Annabelle Creation has mixed reception, but I think most people would agree that it's a superior film to this spinoff. So I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about Annabelle Creation when we get to that. But yeah, this is just a bad film all around. It just. I mean, they took one of the scariest aspects of the original Conjuring and just didn't do enough with it.
And compared, I mean, I've already seen a scene from at least The Conjuring 2, and even that was better. I mean, at least they use new creatures, which, again, we'll get into that next week, but just compared to this with that ugly demon and just reusing the same little girl over and over again. Individuality means something, guys. I'm pretty sure you should try it.
Yeah, I believe you were telling me this before we started recording, that Slappy the Gummy from Goosebumps, the Goosebump books, is scarier than the Annabelle film.
I mean, obviously, at least he tries to kill someone. They're just like those little they're like those bullies that come around, or trolls, I should say. No offense to the trolls that come onto our channel. We love you guys a lot. But it's like one of those bullies that just says, do it, do it, do it, kill yourself, do it already. But seriously, that's not what a ghost is supposed to be. I mean, at least The Conjuring had a possession that we're used to in horror movies. It just had, let's pull a little element from Chucky, planting the ghost of a girl into a doll, and then just lead from there. And we barely even get to see the ghost. I mean, the most scariest part I can actually think of is Annabelle floating, and that's not even scary. That is just a bit creative, even though you can't see anything, and it makes no fucking sense.
Back to the ending of the film, as we were talking about, just the whole. I thought the suicide thing was just so stupid. The sacrifice at the end, it was unnecessary. It just showed that the writers didn't have anything to really work with. So they're like, we'll take the one black lady in the movie and have her kill herself for the white couple. I mean, what? And
stereotypical much?
yeah, it's just bad optics, but also it's just lazy writing, you know.
And I believe you said during our first take of this, the director was the same director as the Mortal Kombat movie?
No, not even the Mortal Kombat, the first film. The second one, he has a history of coming in off of semi-popular franchises and coming in as a director. So he did Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which didn't do anything compared to the first Mortal Kombat film.
Yeah, I actually also heard the first one was kind of terrible, but yeah. And James Wan basically took a back seat to this, and we don't even get the famed twins that we got in the first movie that made The Conjuring what it is today. Along with James Wan, they were basically the brains. No offense, James Wan, we love your movies, but this was just a complete flop for you compared to Saw and Insidious.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just not much to really appreciate about a film because there's just not enough story to keep it interesting. I mean, with the Conjuring film, you have two sets of families. We're following the Warrens and the Perrons. The daughters of the parent and the Perron family, they all have things that they're going through. You know, there's multiple story elements. There's multiple characters to get invested in, and really the only character that we really can connect with at all really is Mia, and then later a little bit with Evelyn. That's only two characters when we had so many more characters in The Conjuring. And when we get to Annabelle Creation, again, I feel Annabelle Creation is an improvement because there are more characters to get your attention, to possibly connect with, and so this film, it was an unnecessary film. It didn't really explain anything vital to the mythos. It didn't provide any real scares. So I'm just wondering why they made the film. There just really isn't a lot of purpose to it.
And honestly, I have to just make this huge analogy. Compared to a Lifetime film, I prefer the Lifetime film compared to this. I mean, a lot of people say they're repetitive and they're basically the same thing over and over again, but at least that had a story. This, I mean, again, it wants to be supernatural. It wants to be a family film, but here's the scary part. All the way over there, outside the door. It literally walked out the door as soon as they started filming.
Yeah. I got a big analogy for this film, too, and most people would find it in the toilet and then flush.
Hereditary?
I went too far.
No, you didn't. Go ahead.
But I believe we originally agreed on giving this film a 3 for rating.
Obviously, I mean, it's basically the equivalent on our scale to a 29%. Obviously, you have to agree with the critics and the rest of everyone who's seen this, even the amateur critics like us, who claim this movie is terrible. I mean, I should have listened to that guy on Discord when he mentioned, oh, you're going to be very disappointed when you see Annabelle. I told him, yeah, I'm hoping you're wrong. Thank you, guy on Discord. You warned me, and I failed to listen. Now I hate this movie more than anything. I mean, it's still not as bad as, and sorry, Matt, but it's not as bad as Death Camp 3 Matt's parody of Friday the 13th Part 3 and of Sleepaway Camp in a way that was literally a huge high dream. He even admitted to me that he was completely, extremely high while writing it, and it's kind of on the same scale as Season of the Witch and Pinocchio's Revenge for me. And that is pretty low on the scale.
And it was called Death Camp 3?
Yes. Oh, God. I see what you're trying to do there.
I'm not doing anything. I just want to know, was there a Death Camp 1 and 2?
Never heard of it. He just did a basic parody of, or tried to do a basic parody of Friday the 13th 3. Final Destination 3 would have been an improvement. Sorry, Matt, but you want us to review it? Here's your review. We had to add it onto this just to show how bad Annabelle is.
So the Annabelle crowd will take it as a compliment. The Death Camp 3 crowd will be slighted. But, hey, you know what? When we roast a film and we say it's really bad, hopefully the folks that are listening, that are filmmakers, will go, okay, you know what? This is how we'll improve. We will listen to the criticism and make a better product. So, hey, Matt, make a Death Camp 4, but maybe lay off the weed a little bit.
I'm pretty sure he was on meth.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I did not mean to besmirch our fellow pothead Americans and International Pothead Alliance.
But seriously, this was a terrible movie. Don't worry, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell so you can get notices for our videos every week. And don't forget to comment your feedback. I mean, look at Cameron. He's been commenting on every video, and I'm pretty sure he feels pretty lonely in that comment section.
I'm very lonely.
And let us know if you guys like this idea. We're thinking of doing V for Vendetta on November 5th. If you guys like that idea, let us know. And maybe Star Wars Day on Fridays? Again, let us know. I mean, we're popping ideas. We want to know if you like these and if you'll watch them. Any final words, Cameron?
No, I got a fourth-story window to go out of.
And give me a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We have to apologize to Morty because
Rick.
at his
Rick.
own life risk,
Rick.
we had to use him because, one, I don't have an Annabelle doll, and two, he was the closest doll. I'm sorry, Morty.
It's Rick.
And there goes Cameron's impression of Morty. But again, guys, let us know if you like the ideas for maybe the new addition to our channel, or the idea of doing V for Vendetta on November 5th. And good night, goodbye, and I tip my hat off to you so that you may have a very spiritual night.